What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm your co-host Donovan Quick, and we're going to be going over a little math lesson today. Yeah, that's right. We're going to be talking about the salary cap and the issues it may present for the Dolphins as it has for the other teams. I mean, we saw just yesterday the Bills absolutely dismantled their defense, and yet they're still over the cap. They're still in the red, and it's got a lot of fans wondering, like, what about the Dolphins? What about the Saints? What about, all these other teams? Well, I don't really concern myself with other teams, but I will tell you about the Dolphins and, why it's going to be okay. And it is going to be okay, guys. So first things first, we are $20.4 million in the red. Now, how do we get here from being $50 million over at the beginning of the offseason? Well, 3 moves basically helped us get there. First thing was the salary cap increased from what it was last year up to $30 million more. So that actually, more than anticipated, dropped us down from like 50 mil in the red to somewhere around like 35, 36 ish. Then we cut Ogba and Keon Crossan, and that brought us all the way back down to $20.4 million. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be asking, what about Xavier Howard? What about that release? Well, guys, that's a post-June 1st cut, so we won't see that money until after June 1st. So as of right now, $20 million in the red without the Xavier Howard release. We won't get the additional 18.5 until after June 1st. So we're going to go ahead and add that at the end. The first thing I will talk about, though, is Teron Armstead. Now, I know it says $8 million there, but keep in mind he hasn't made a decision on retirement. So if the Dolphins were to choose to cut him, he would probably just retire, right? And retiring would save the Dolphins $20.8 million. However, if we just restructure him, and I think he's leaning towards playing. From all the reports I've heard, he's leaning towards playing. So Teron Armstead, $8 million would be if he restructured his contract. Now, before we get into the rest of these, I will say these guys aren't taking pay cuts. They're getting paid what they're going to get paid. But these are going to be converting this into a signing bonus for them. So they're basically just going to get their money up front. So that's what makes this a lot more easy and, a lot more flexible. Xavier Howard, he didn't want to take that pay cut. The Dolphins didn't want to make it into a signing bonus for him. So they're like, okay, we're willing to do it here, here, and here, but not for Xavier Howard and not for Jerome Baker either. I forgot about that release. So, yeah, we're going to get into this. Armstead, $8 million in savings after a restructure for him. Jalen Ramsey would save us $18 million in a restructure. Now, once again, this is going to be, he's going to get paid up front. Very simple. It's going to be a signing bonus. Very, very easy decision. They did this last year with him. I think he made like $3 million on the cap last year, and the rest was all a signing bonus. Look, it worked out. Like, yeah, he got injured and blah, 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 but you can't control that thing. You can't control that at all. And, all this is, relative to change. Tyreek, $12 million in a restructure. Now, there is a chance that he could sign an extension that would save an additional $3 million to the 12, making it $15 million in savings if he does sign an extension. However, we're just going to go with a lower number for now. We can add the $3 million later, kind of like we're going to do with Xavier Howard's 18.5 and Armstead's 12.8 in case those guys decide to retire or, sign an extension. We're going to add that at the end to see the highest potential out of all these moves, right? So Tyreek, $12 million in savings. Once again, you don't really have to concern yourself with, oh, we paid him, now he's going to be lazy because he got his money up front. We don't have to concern ourselves with that with these guys in particular. But that is something that teams worry about, and that's why they don't do it. And that's why I think Chubb is probably the easiest option to do this with, because he's already going to miss the majority of the season, so you're going to pay him his money regardless. He's not getting paid less. So why not give him his money up front? Be like, okay, here, you're paid for this season, regardless of what happens. Like, he might play, he might not play, who knows? But at this point, like, what does it hurt to go ahead and pay Bradley Chubb up front? Because you already know that's like the least risk that you're gonna have of someone of someone not living up to their contract or their signing bonus, because he might not play anyway. Like, that he's coming off an ACL surgery for an edge rusher, and he tore it in week 17. Like, it's not, he tore it, what was that, New Year's Day or that weekend? Like, like, he might not play. He's definitely not playing the majority of the season. He might not play the entire season. We don't know yet. It really depends on how his progression goes with his rehab. So, yeah, very easy decision there for me. Another easy decision, Zach Sealer, $5.5 million if he restructures. Now, this was a absolute, like, easy contract to do. He was 3 years, $30 million, a little over $30 million that we signed him to last offseason. So you're telling me we can restructure him and save half his contract and just give it to him up front? I'm 100% doing that. Are you kidding me? That's the second easiest decision on this list. The hardest decision is probably Armstead, then Ramsey, because, like, look, 18 million, that's a lot to swallow there. 8 million for a guy that's going to miss 10 games, but you're going to pay him anyway, so it's like, like, that's what makes those decisions a little bit harder. I think Reek is kind of right there in the middle. Zach Sealer, second easiest decision. You absolutely 100% do this. I would sign him to an even bigger extension. Are you kidding me? Like, the way he played, 10.5 sacks, absolute beast of a run stopper. Come on, easy decision. Now we get to the extension part of this, right? If Tua signs his extension this offseason, which they're working on, and Adam Schefter reported it could go deep into the summer, Tua's extension would save this team $17 million. Now, that's why the Dolphins want to get this done. However, Tua's camp's probably asking, once again, no basis behind this, Tua's camp's probably asking for somewhere in the realm of $55 million. Dolphins are probably in the realm of like 48 to 50 million, because, you know, what is 201? Like, given what is Herbert won, but like, what is 201? This is his first full year of not being injured. So, gotta take a good with the bad there. But Tua's extension would save this team $17.6 million actually. But we're just gonna round it to $17 million. So that brings us actually to $42 million in the green. So we go from 20.4 in the red to 42 in the green. That's how much this all saves us here. How many moves is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves saves us $60 million, over $62 million, and it creates $42 million in cap space to go and sign other players. Now, we go down this list even more. We add Xavier Howard's $18.5 million from his post-June 1st cut. If Armstead retires, that saves us an additional $12.8 million. If Tyreek signs an extension instead of a restructure, that's $3 million. That would bring us to potentially, after June 1st, or this is including the Xavier Howard money, $76 million in the green. That would be one of the highest cap space rooms in the entire NFL. We go from potentially one of the worst situations to one of the best situations. Now, once again, this is a lot of money. I think we were the second most, or either the most or the second most last year in money off the books. And by that, I mean signing bonuses. And that's going to be the very same thing this year. It's going to be signing bonuses all across the board. I believe the Saints were number 1. We were number 2. And it was like somewhere in the realm of like 40-something million dollars. This is going to be somewhere in the realm of a lot more than that. But that's what the cost of a championship winning caliber team is. That's what this is going to be. And once again, this isn't that many moves, right? You have Armstead, restructure or retire. Ramsey, you restructure him, 100% in my opinion. Tyreek, you have the extension or restructure. Chubb, restructure. Tua, extension. Zach Sealer, so easily restructure that. So easily. I would give him, if it was possible, I would give him $10 million in the signing bonus. He's worth that. He is that guy. Xavier Howard, sad to see him go, but $18.5 million post June 1st. Would love it. Tua extension saving us $17 million this year is amazing. I don't know how that math works. That's how the cap is. These guys are geniuses when it comes to the cap. I'm just trying to lay it all out here. And shout out to overthecap.com for all the info on this. I hope this helped y'all out. I hope this put most of you Dolphins fans at ease to see how really easy it is to get a lot of cap space and make some moves. So I do anticipate most of these moves being done within the next week or so. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Am I being a little bit delusional? Am I being too optimistic? You guys let me know in the comments below. Deuces.